Hey guys, it's Robert Shane today. I was going to talk to you about my informal speech, and that it's going to be on aviation. Aviation is something I've always liked and been interested in my whole life. I've had a background in it with my family. My dad flew in the military, flew F-18s, and then when he got out, he started flying commercially. So I've gotten to fly with him for JetBlue. It's a pretty cool experience. But anyway, aviation is something that, like I said, I've always liked and would love to maybe learn how to fly one day. Just be, you know, just have my license. But anyway, I'd like to talk to you about my thesis. My thesis is it's important that we keep updating our aviation systems and technology to help our pilots, our military, and civilian use, because that if it wasn't for aviation, we wouldn't have Google Earth, any of this data, because we were able to collect it through UAVs and just people flying and collecting data. I took a class called GIS, which kind of is a class you build maps in, and it gives you a really good perspective of how much data we were able to collect over the last 20, 30 years, because we have such better technology now. And it gives you so much more. Like, we're able to build maps and databases with the pictures that we're able to upload from aerial views collected from UAVs or anything, satellite images. So it's goes way beyond just aviation. It helps out our whole society. Another big thing with aviation is military. We're still in a war. We're still fighting a war, and even though it has calmed down a little bit, we own the sky. So it's always gave our troops, people over there, a backup plan. You know, calling air support other militaries don't have. Luckily, we have the best air support in the world, and we're able to show that at high levels. Another big thing with aviation is coastal zone updating. Coastal zones are always changing through weather change, natural disasters. Um, Geography is always going to change, so we always have to be updating the terrain and be able to get that through into iPhones, into any type of database to help our civilians on this continent or throughout the world. Um, if it wasn't for aviation, none of this would be where it is today, and it's a huge advantage we have, and it's something that we need to keep updating and updating and updating until we can't update anymore, because it's always going to be changing. Um, Another thing with aviation is that flying for plane services, like when I was in that class for GIS, you could for airports, you're able to create routes for pilots coming into land, and that's another great tool we can use for our pilots, and we can relay the message from the towers at the airports to the pilots coming in, whether it's weather, any chaos on the runway, and anything, any emergency, we're able to update through those databases, and like GIS, and to help our pilots be more successful in the air, because it all comes down to safety. We all want it. We all want our commercial pilots landing at every airport safely, because there's hundreds of lives on every airplane. Not every airplane, but commercially usually. So we always want to be safe, and as long as we're updating those databases for our pilots in the air, whether it's with the weather, where you're at, anything, these databases are huge for aviation, and it's really the forefront on why our aviation is so good in this country, whether it's the military, commercially, whether you just like to fly in general. It all helps out. So as long as we keep updating these databases and showing, areas like coastal zones that are constantly changing due to weather patterns and constant, terrain changes, we are always wanting to update. So hopefully y'all will take some initiative and understand where I'm coming from with aviation and learn a little bit. And I appreciate your time. Have a good day.